these teams. I think the damage output on purple team it has the potential of really anybody that gets picked is done. They're done. There's no other option but their own destruction. While we have this blue team here, which has the CC of 1,000 gods. It'll be an interesting match, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, and I actually like the hopes of, if blue team really wants to push in, you have this great poke comp, and then you have Anivia there, who's one of the best defenders. She can clear a wave, and the drop, and the drop of a hat, a blink of an eye, whatever you want to use. You push in a wave, it could be like 20 minions, just gone, doesn't care about it. Yeah, you're gonna have to dive the turret. And with someone like Nautilus there too, it's typically someone you necessarily might not see in a poke comp. He actually has great disengage with all that CC he has because he has so much slow. And if you're trying to run in there and he throws off his ultimate and it's popping everybody up as they're trying to come in, it's gonna be very, very hard to run down. And then you have Janet after all that. So.
Yep. Nope. Great. I'm not exactly 100% on the Kinnan pick after Janna was already on the field, but I think that they think they know what they're doing. I trust them. I trust their instinct. I know ImBlackYall. I've faced him. I've been beaten down by him once before. And I mean, Sanctified is a beautiful creature, and I'm pretty sure he's going to keep everybody alive for the entire game. I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes 0-0 all the way to the Nexus. That's not true. That can't happen. I'm sorry. I'm lying to people now. But no, I'm really interested in how this is all going to play out. That poke comp, like you were saying, it's incredibly scary. If Ashe decides to get involved, Ashe and Nautilus, I've seen a lot of dirty things. Ashe, Nautilus, and Janna, there's enough there. There's enough CC there to get some really early game kills, stack and tell. And get that feed if they get to hold him down. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and again, I am RWW Pato. With me, I have Dom the Help, rocking from AOD fame. So you had a recent contest go down. Do you want to tell people a little bit about that?
So I guess Songs of the Summon 3 just ended. Winners will be picked, what is that, on the 6th. There's a lot of great entries. I don't know if everybody's been paying attention to this, but it's been pretty much consuming my whole life. Our entry, our first rock song that we ever released, 6v4, has been really well received. We're really stoked about that. We worked really hard on it. A couple other people I'd like to mention. The Yordles Band, a group that I had never heard of, just showed up out of nowhere with 3 entries, including one of my favorite League songs ever, Mundo and Love's Vein. I cannot get over how good those guys are. There's songs everywhere. Vizix was all over it, dropped 3 songs into SOS 3, and this competition's really stacking up tough, and I love seeing the community evolving the way it has been. Especially around this competition, which AOD has been a part of since the very beginning. So yeah, I mean, wicked stoked to see how all this turns out. Ooh, it looks like we're about to go into the game. I'm stoked about this.
Yes, indeed.
Listen to my music, because I like it.
Well, I really enjoyed your latest song. I know that it definitely, the one thing that stands out to me whenever I get to hear your guys' songs, it actually makes me want to really go out and play the character. I can tell that you guys spend a lot of time, not only, you do the characters justice is what I like, and it actually gets me. You hit all like sorts of little itsy bitsy. Like if you're like a fan, and if you're already like a fan of a character, you're like those fans that have read the lore and stuff on the background of characters. But I think a lot of people, they overlook it. But some of that lore is actually really, really cool.
That's the reason that AOD has primarily focused on League of Legends has been because of the lore. The lore is so engaging, and for a game like this, which doesn't need it, has been proved by almost every other MOBA. Like the depth of lore in League of Legends is astounding, and the breadth of character and the personality of the characters are amazing. And something like Mordekaiser, where you have number 1 in Brazil coming from all the way back in the day when he was super easy and everybody just blamed the Brazilians for playing him, coming through this great rock opera with Pentakill and the entire world of of Runeterra, Valorant going on around him. Like we were there, it's not like we're pulling from the ether. We're not only pulling from the gameplay experience, we're actually pulling from what Riot has given us. As lore, I guess I've said several times.
But yeah, it's really, really awesome. And so, as a fan of the lore, and even someone that, the lore that I haven't read for certain characters, I know Volibear, like I hadn't read some of the background stuff about him, about the whole Zillion thing, but the thing between him and Zillion. And so, when I heard that song, the cipher, the Volibear cipher, and then I read into more of it, I was like, oh, wow, this is really, really cool, and actually enriched my experience of League of Legends. Yeah. And gave me a really badass song to bump, so...
Oh, here we go. It looks like we might be looking for some early game action here. Nope, looks like they're backing off now, but it seemed like Anivia wanted to head over and play with somebody over in the river real quick. Everybody's setting up in nice little defensive positions. Oh, wait, purple team is heading down river. It looks like they're going to try and snake a red here.
I actually like this move by them. They're sitting right in that corner, so you can't get vision of them. So in case someone was trying to spot in that tribush, they're going to have as little time as possible to be able to stop it, and that would actually give them vision in case that trap hits. So that was a beautiful play by the Nidalee. They go here, try to get an early advantage, and it looks like Blue actually following in suit. They feel like they have a very good team for invade as well. They're going to counter-invade the red, although what's really smart is you see Janna actually left a ward up by their red, so they're actually going to see this as going down.
As well as Blue dropped a ward by theirs. It looks like they're running from the same playbook right now, and purple team now having vision of Blue has to decide what they're going to do about it.
And it looks like they're actually just going to back off. I'm interested if they decide they might want to collapse. And actually, Nas is going to walk past a turret. I don't know exactly.
I think that might have been a pathing fail, because there's no way that was intentional. There's no way he took 2 tower hits when he has a whole jungle to be responsible for.
I'm interested to see if they collapse on this, because it actually would be really smart, because a lot of times teams do back off in these scenarios. And
here we go. We're live. We're Xbox Live here. We're gonna get some action.
Oh wow! And it's actually routing towards the red team right now, and there's the stun.
There's the stun.
First blood. That was beautiful. And the best part about that positioning right there is because Morgana pulled it, it actually pulled to the right. A lot of teams, they'll actually pull the red buff actually around behind, and you can actually get it down to the brush behind there, and that is a lot safer. And as we see there, that is not the right way to pull. No,
they took a big risk there, and it did not pay off one bit for Blue Team. Purple definitely capitalizing early in this game. We're going to see if they can hold on to this. I mean, if you feed the poke monster, the CC is not going to matter that much. QSSs are going to start showing up really early.
Yes, definitely. And the thing that you want to do against these AoE teams is you do want to get them down early. You want to get it so when they get in those AoE team fights, they just don't quite hit hard enough, and you're able to sustain through it. So even if they do catch you, you can still survive.
Ooh, Nautilus is making moves bottom lane. Nautilus is making moves, getting around behind this Ezreal. He's going for that level 2 gank, that sweet level 2 gank, putting him down.
Oh, boom! Great flash after, gets the root down.
He can still pick one. There it is. There's the pick that we needed. Ash, give me that fan. Blah!
Oh, she's going to sacrifice her life, though, to get it done.
That wasn't necessary, I don't think, but I like the dedication.
Yeah, a little bit too excited right there. Sometimes, players, you see someone low and you feel like you have to flash for style or something. And in that case, sometimes a lot of, if you are laning, pushing your opponent out of lane sometimes is as good as killing them early, especially in an AD carry support battle. If you're AD and support, if you're able to push out their support, their AD, you can zone him out all day long until that support gets back. He's not going to be able to hang in there by himself. He'll take too much harassment. But it looks like he just wanted that kill.
Sometimes the greed is strong, and sometimes you can't deny the greed. Sometimes somebody's just got to die.
Yeah, if we look at the gold really quickly, it looks like Ashe has about a 200 gold lead on her opponent so far. Coming back to lane, she has a Doran's Blade, so she'll actually have that up on Ezreal. Plus, she bought a new round of health potions as well.
So it looks like she'll be stocked for this lane for a while. And there's the little ward that I've been waiting for my sweetheart, Sona. And let's take a look at the map here. Looks like everybody's kind of settled into laning phase right now. Nobody's getting too wild. Everybody's kind of recovering from the exciting first 4 minutes.
Yeah, and one thing I'm noticing top is Ken's actually doing a really good job of utilizing that top brush to actually poke in on Nidalee, which is something we typically don't see. Usually we'll see Nidalee returning the favor. It looks like she's going to do a little bit here, getting that speed buff, coming back in here, and looks like she jukes just back into her minions to try to dodge some shurikens. And
poor Shyvana taking it to the wolves. That is not going to help. They need that pressure. After losing that first blood, they need that pressure. Yeah, that was not something I expected. I saw her going in there for a quick, brief second. I saw that she was low, and I was like, she's not going to die, and I was wrong. She did die. I would say I'm really impressed right now what's going on with Janna shields. She's been able to keep those coming up just in time to counter any of the poke that Ezreal's been throwing down. And it's really been keeping Ashe into this game. She still has all 3 of her potions since she came back, and she's been actually taking quite a bit of damage, or at least quite a few hits. Yeah, and that is stellar. The one thing, the strength of this blue team is going to be that bottom lane. That's the thing they have to negate, and with Fujin doing a good job throwing out that damage there. Guys, top lane, here we go. Finally coming back in on her. Shyvana making her presence known, trying to run him down, ignite up. Will she be able to jig this? She won't be able to. Will Kennen be able to survive? He will fall. So that is a trade top. Now, Kennen, while you were talking about Janet down low, he actually dodged a ton of harassment by Nautilus, got caught a little bit, and finally baited that attack. And Anivia has rotated up now, and she's going to instantly blow up Shyvana. Shyvana was she was trying to farm there, but, Anivia being really, really smart came up there and picked her off. Yeah, no, and here we go mid. Nautilus just punching on ImBlackYall a little bit. But, I mean, that's just one of those things. Like, a good Anivia player is not going to let you sit low for very long. I'm really wondering what the team's thinking right now. Was there a Mia call? Did something get missed? Because that was just blatantly walk up river, shoot dude in face with ice. Yeah, and I think definitely part of it was Shyvana was like, okay, I'm behind. I died to wolves. I need to farm this right now so that I can catch up, and maybe that was played into it. But definitely, the blue team again. These teams don't. This is their first game together. They're going to be a little bit rusty. The communication is not going to be 100%. So they probably missed an MIA call in there as well. And feeding the Anivia, the red team right now up 2 kills so far. They're creeping up on a 1K gold lead, but blue, not far behind here. It's like we got a bunch of blue in this bottom part of jungle here hanging out, and this counter jungle might be caught here in just a second. Nautilus, nope, Nautilus taking a minute to get his raise is going to miss his opportunity. And that's actually a really good move by Shyvana. She needs to do that to catch back up, take a little bit of the jungle away from Nautilus. It's also going to make his ganks a little bit weaker because he doesn't have that red buff. He's going to see it now, make a little sad face probably. Yeah. Aww. But yeah, no, he's definitely mad about it. But that's one of the things about this perfect matchup of jungling between Shyvana and Nautilus. Shyvana is going to counter jungle Nautilus all day because she's fast. The thing that Nautilus has is the fact that as soon as he's level 3, he has all of his skills, all the CC he needs, and he's going to, if he catches you, it doesn't matter what level he is. It doesn't matter how far behind he is. His team is going to be there to do their work. Yeah, one thing I'd like to see against teams, especially that play against Shyvana, I mean, because she's had her heyday. We've seen a lot of teams kind of going away from necessarily her style, but teams know exactly what she does, and I'm a lot more used to wards around Raze, around your own red buff in order to stop that counter jungling action. And it looks like though he was able to sneak in there, make a move, and it's very dangerous when you're behind, especially to do any sort of counter jungling. So props to him. He has a big pair on him, able to go in there and pick off that red buff and not have to pay for it. Giant ovaries, giant dragony ovaries. But yeah, Pizza Man 8099 just doing work, saving his red buff. It looks like for another day, because if Nautilus goes in there, that's slow,
Italy
deadly.
Under a lot of pressure up top. It looks like Kenneth's popped his ult, although not going to actually be able to hold him down. Looks like they're just going to continue their poke war forever. Yeah, it's gonna get rough for both of them. I think this top lane up here. Usually, what I find in top lanes, you want some people who can hang out and sustain like Nidalee can, but this Crystal Jungin has been doing work. He's been able to hold his own in this and get that poke in there and really force her to keep on her toes and keep that heal going. Another thing Yeah, another thing that's interesting about this this top lane too, and his item builds. We see a lot of Kens. They'll just blindly rush a revolver and go for that Woda, but instead he's decided to pick up that chain vest right there. And what he's going to do with that is he's going to get that extra armor. It's going to let him actually sustain in lane possibly better than if he had that revolver there, because against an Italy that's going to be heavy AD.
Both junglers coming top now, seeing what's up, seeing if they can make any plays. Oh, the dragons come out, and Nautilus says no! Daddy Not says no! Baby ain't going nowhere! And that is all he had to say about that. Good night, baby cakes.
Yeah, and I have to question a little bit what Pizza Man was thinking there, because he just met Nautilus. Like, they shook hands, they punched each other in the face, and they walked around the circle, and he just dove in there. And whoa! Meanwhile, Janna getting absolutely destroyed. Morgana coming down there for a quick little gank. Great move there. And
Morgana apparently the mom of blue team will be Morgana, and here we go. We got the Ice Witch is coming down, trying to cut her off, hopefully getting some action, but looks like at the last second, she just said no. And wasn't going to allow it to happen.
Anivia tried to time that, was a little bit off, but if that wall was at the correct place, it would have given him vision of that brush as well and trapped her. But, ImBlackYall smart, knew that, hey, you know what, I don't see Anivia in lane. She's probably doing this, and Thien getting caught out again.
Oh, no!
The exhaust is not going to happen.
No.
Again, Sanctified with Fujin, if you're going to put money on any lane, you want to put money on that lane.
I want to put money on anything. I'd put on Sanctified by himself 1v5 if the entire team was all Jarvans. And we had a song about how that turns out. Time and time again, Sanctified has just completely impressed me. He is one of my idols as a main support. He is one of my idols. I watch his games whenever I see him on and playing.
Yeah, I mean, when I was playing a lot, I considered myself to be a really good support player. I mained it. I did all these things right. And then when we made the Raise Your Weapon team, we met Sanctified, and I was like, you know what? He's way better than me. Like,
yeah,
I'll just
talk about
actually good at support. And his reaction times are really, really good. I mean, there's been very few instances where I've ever seen him mess up an ult, especially Sona ults. It's a common mistake. I'll see people miss them a lot. And he actually just hit nothing but brush once. But besides that, like, his ults are beautiful. And if you ask a lot of team captains, after they're done with judgment, even besides the MVP judgment, they'll say, hey, Sanctified's ults, like, were clutch. Those are the reason we won the game. And you don't see that a lot from a lot of teams. Supports don't get the love. They're like the offensive linemen of League of Legends.
Yeah, Judgment won. That was in the finals. It was I was support counter him, and he was just able to simply tell me no, that I was doing everything wrong and that I needed to be educated on how to play the game appropriately. And without ever saying a single word to me. I just knew it. I knew it in it. Oh, and here we go. Top lane trying to make some moves on a full health.
Nidalee, and I
don't think this was the best. I don't think this was well thought out. I don't think. Yeah, no, this was not well thought out at all. This. I'm sorry that happened to you. My condolences, top lane. I
feel like top lane, they keep overestimating how much damage that Shyvana can put out. Because I know Kennen was going in that, and he probably thought from his teammates, like, oh, the gate's coming up. Shyvana can put it on enough damage. We can take this Nidalee, but. Yeah, I mean, even if she wanted to run there, she could have. But she just turned out and killed him.
Shyvana's just sitting on her phage now. Nidalee is well past her wiggles. Has so much lifesteal that both of them being so low in health. I'm surprised that didn't go worse somehow. I don't know. Get an inhibitor for free or something.
Yeah, she threw a spear and it traveled the entire map and blew up an inhibitor.
Yeah, something. And I was hoping that anchor would hit, mostly just because nothing makes me happier than a big ol' anchor smash by my boy Nautilus. But that black shield's so clutch, and that anchor so woof.
So it looks like they're going to feed. I wonder if they're going to feed Anivia, or they're actually going to feed. Thien is the captain, so if he wants blue, I guess he could take it. It's looking like he's just going to help out a little bit, and Anivia's going to come down here, get that blue that she so desperately wants.
Oh.
She has blue buff now. She has her chalice. She has a catalyst. And the other thing too is we've seen a lot is that a lot of Anivias now, they're going the chalice over the tier. Tier used to be really common, really popular, but tier actually, what does it go into? It can go into the staff, but the staff, it's really cost inefficient. And now it seems like getting that MR, getting the chalice, and doing a Thien's Holy Grail, the new item, is a better play for a lot of mid AP champions now.
That whole the Unholy Grail, when it was announced, and their little video was just like, yeah, we're doing this because and those spears, dodging those spears, trying to stun her under the turret up top. If Nidalee had gotten caught, we might have seen some
Ash
moves.
is rotated middle now. Actually lands an air on ImBlackYall, running for his life, and there is the frostbite. And they do not want any part of that. And they've just left bottom lane. They pushed it up far enough. Then they rotated. No one called it. They were able to pick up a kill. And they're probably going to take this turret. And WizFujin Sanctified bottom can't even push up bottom lane fast enough to try to punish them for this. That is a very smart move. And Red Team, just as a team, they're playing so brilliant right now.
There was the Ezreal ult just for hope and glory, I guess.
Oh, and guess
Nidalee is not going to care. Nidalee officially does not care about turret damage and going to leave, heal herself up, and just laugh maniacally, swill the brandy, and just take gold. It's not even a conversation anymore up top.
Yes, Nidalee, and this is exactly what you want from your top solo. Eventually, Nidalee is going to be to the point where they've already sent 2 people, their jungler and their top, and it hasn't worked out. They're going to have to start rotating someone else. But the problem is when you're converting, that many resources to other lanes to try to deal with just Nidalee, you give up all the other objectives on the map. So if Nidalee keeps this up, keeps pushing, eventually decides to take down that turret whenever she wants to, they're going to have to shift over resources or just slowly lose all the towers in their top lane.
I'm really hoping that Shyvana does not go any farther north than she was looking like she was going to, because she was toeing the line a few times of just getting played. And there's the ping down on Nidalee. We're going to see what's going on here. Nautilus is just hanging out top, hoping that they decide to make that real. Hoping, because Nautilus is hungry.
Kennen trying to battle here. He's doing a little bit of damage, but it's just not going to happen. Oh, through the wall!
Oh, we're going to see the spear coming from Mom here? Nope, she's going to heal.
Oh, yeah, and there's that pressure that we were talking about earlier. There's 4 blue members top trying to focus in here. Nidalee just going to easily hop over that wall. Nothing doing. Probably actually going to focus and try to take back this mid turret, make up for the fact that they lost their own mid turret, make up some gold for their team that way.
Here comes the wave clear. There's nothing. They're going to hit it a couple times, but after that, they're just going to have to take damage if they try to stay there.
Yep. As long as they have a Nivea there, they're not going to be able to push in on it. I'm interested to see when either team's going to try to attempt a dragon.
I've been waiting for that as well. I really think that that's going to be a real big decider there. We got this ward in middle bush here, so we've seen ImBlackYall the entire time.
Morgana, beautiful wall coming in here, stopping her. She's going to get stunned, and No Name is making a name for himself. I don't have to say that right now. He is kicking butt in mid lane.
Channel because of what you just did to me. And here comes that dragon attempt we were waiting for. There's nothing, not a thing that Blue Team. They don't even have to get that rid of that ward, but they're going to just for fun. Here comes Ezreal. He's gonna act like he's gonna play, but he's actually just gonna hang out and watch them take this. Sanctified a little upset about it. You can see it in his really sad mute eyes.
And the one thing you definitely don't want, if you spend that gold onto a pink ward,
here comes Flash coming in. Oh, it lands on Sanctified. Here comes the second stun. There's and the pull.
They do not care about MVPs right now.
There's that clutch ult.
Wow! WizFujin coming back in here with a kill. Can we see a beautiful ult from Sanctified? Can he turn this around? No, he's not even gonna die.
Sanctified set up that entire thing with that first ult, stopping them from getting those early kills, letting Ezreal get in position over the wall so that all of that could happen. That was beautiful. That was Sanctified right there saying, oh wait, I forgot, I'm actually part Jesus. And it's my nuts parts.
So looks like Thien's going to run up here, probably take Wolves, farm a little bit more, and go back and buy. If we look at the 80 carries right now, Thien sitting at 75 CS, while WizFujin is rocking 174. WizFujin almost has 100 more CS than the opposing AD, and that is going to be very, very key as we go farther into this game.
I completely agree with you. I think right now it's an interesting position where, although top lane has kind of been settled, bottom lane's still incredibly live. I think this Ashe is really going to have to pick up and really start moving if they're going to hang out in this late game.
Yeah, because really right now what she's been relegated to is just basically she's an Ashe arrow, and she doesn't really quite have the damage to compete. Wiz Fujin, if they were to 1v1, would just blow her up in an instant. Great little stun from Anivia right there, but she's not quite in the perfect position. Actually, all backing out from Nidalee.
Right now, hands down, the scariest thing on the board is Nidalee. If Nidalee is to get her hands or claws on you, depending on what form she's in, that's gonna be a bad moment in your history.
Yeah, it's just working up to that Triforce, it looks like. And red team pressing home. A lot of blue team has backed or gone over for buffs. Nautilus is actually going to zone out the rest of the jungle.
Yep. And they need the Ezreal needs to be there. We need Wiz Fujin. And there's the Ashe arrow, kind of wasted on this.
They shouldn't engage on this, but they have. They've already gone too far. Nautilus might get picked off here and punished for this, and it looks like he will be. Yeah. Although Nidalee might want to try to 1v1 with Fujin. Will he be able to do it? That is the Quincy's going to come back in here. He will get the kill, and he will flash back out. Slicing Maelstrom is down. He's lost, but now Rock in a hard place. Nothing doing. And Nivia's going to pick up a kill up top. They're just trading kills right now.
Raiden 2s. I gotta say though, getting Nidalee down, breaking that spree is kind of important, and I mean, they have to be happy that happened, because if Nidalee had been allowed to stay up, healed up, this push could have continued forever. Like the pressure, I don't think that blue team could have taken the pressure much longer.
Yeah, and I definitely think, red team right there, they had the wall. It wasn't quite enough. I think they thought that Kennen was actually going to get stuck against the corner. And then after the Ashe arrow flew out, it was one of those things where not recognizing...
Look, here's another really good push on ImBlackYall, forcing Morgana to just run.
Yeah, Anivia does not care about your Black Shield. And right now, it's, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, you commit the resources, and somewhere in your head, as a player, sometimes you have that mental brain fight where you're just like, yeah, I have to go in because we use the Ashe arrow and stuff, guys, and we use the wall. And he was totally in a bad position, so we have to go in. And then next thing you know, you're under a turret, like 2v5.
And I gotta say, as much as Nautilus does not care about being under turrets, though another really, really bad Nautilus position here. We're gonna probably see him make it back because it's Nautilus and he doesn't know Nautilus is about to take it. There's Sanctified saying no. Sanctified has said no, and they're going to take him. Getting picked.
Red right now definitely with the tower advantage and a gold advantage. As we look here, they actually have about 6K gold advantage almost so far in this game. Watching
the kills, we were a moment ago at 5 to 10, and we were still at this same spread here. Oh, and Nidalee has said Sanctified ult is down. This is about to get ugly, I think. Oh, nope. Rest of her team just happens to be there. Sanctified has been saved by the grace of God and Grayskull. 5 Sports taking them down real nicely. I have to say, both teams, very nice warding job. Their vision has been really good this game. Could have been a little better in spots, but right now I think they've really tightened up their game. Both teams have decided that this is actually a real game. It's not a runaway by any stretch of the imagination by anybody, except for maybe what's going on up top.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at the chat a little bit here, and they were kind of like, "Oh, this game's a stomp," and really, at this point, certain lanes, obviously, as you can see, their cannon falling are not going so well. But then, at the same token, the blue bot lane, Wiz Fujin is, he has gold coming out of his ears. Like he has Infinity Edge. He looks like he's gonna probably try. He has his Phage, gonna probably start pushing towards maybe a Triforce there. But he is pretty stacked, and oh wow!
And that is not the place. That is not the place Nautilus wants to be. Nautilus might actually come around to being the weak link in this one. He's very, very brave, and I think the early game advantage really did give him that inflated ego, and he might have to pay for that later on. Because right now, Wiz Fujin is doing too much damage to allow that.
But Wiz Fujin not in a great place right here.
But he has Morgana there just to help out. Morgana once again is going to get locked down.
Yeah.
Oh, nope. Just that
quick little flash out. It looks like Siobhan's going to jump in here and just try to focus onto it. Anivia will be back, though. They don't have any more damage on there, but what's really important is Ezreal is down. And now Anivia's going to come back up here. Kennen popping his ult, but it's not going to be enough. There's that DPS from Anivia coming back in here. Siobhan trying to get away, but Ashe is now on duty. Gets Dark Binding there. That actually will save her teammates. ImBlackYall's Dark Binding right there. Saves the teammates, because otherwise those arrows and that volley would have been coming in. They would have never been able to disengage from that.
That would have been the kite from hell. I don't even know if it's kiting if you're running away. I feel like that's mostly just like, I don't know, molestation.
Yeah, it's like those horrible dreams, those nightmares where you're like trying to run away, but you just like you forgot how your legs work or whatever. Yeah, I hate those.
Yeah, you wake up, you're covered in sweat and blankets. And there's Ashe just taking Dragon, getting that gold up a little bit higher. Ashe has to know by now that she is an IE behind, easily an IE behind the Ezreal in the lane, and a 60. Well, she's catching up on CS, actually, so congratulations for that.
Yeah, a side effect that happens, when you start to group with your team or you're trying to, support your team is you actually have to give up the laning phase. You have to give up getting CS, because there are other carries on your team that are trying to CS as well. And a lot of times when you roam in a party, they're trying to take CS, you're trying to take CS. So you kind of put the CSing on hold for a little bit. And that allows other teams, that can afford to put their carry in a lane and just have them AFK farm the ability to catch back up in CS.
And there's some tower trades right there, just knocking those down. Minions running bottom lane now because they're just left alone. Ezreal going down to deal with that. And here we have, looks like we might have a rotation bottom. I don't...
Nidalee being bold, knowing that she has escapes.
Yeah, Nidalee being Nidalee and just wanting, wanted that spear a little too much. I think that spear would have been I think if she'd got that spear, she would have hopped the wall. She would have gone for it. Try to burn down that ultimate and try to get rid of that Oracles, which right now I think that Oracles above everything else is saving their lives.
Yes, it's doing a great job allowing them to keep vision control in their own jungle, and I have to give props again to having Sanctified on their team as a support. They're able to also ward out that bottom jungle. She was up front, very out there just protecting Ezreal, which a lot of times, we'll see, bottom 80 carries go bottom to try to farm in this late game scenario and get ganked because their support still isn't warding their own jungle and warding that Tri-Brush, so props to him.
It looks like they were trying to force a Baron fight and then left, and now it's looking like Nidalee does not care about getting ulted, just says no, doesn't even start dancing.
But with that down, that might be the time to engage if they can get a hold of this team or poke them down and catch someone.
And Nidalee's going back in. Her
Nautilus
team
is way ahead of his team. This is ill-advised. Looks like he's going to eat the rest of the cooldowns for the enemy team, and now he might counter-initiate here onto Kennen. Ken's going to get destroyed. Nidalee's going to feast right now, and WizFujin, though, still stepping back. Oh, wow. Nidalee surrounded by 4 members of the enemy team, but she does not care.
For that, that burst.
But they need to deal with WizFujin. They have so many people low. WizFujin can still turn this around and pick up a quadra kill, maybe a Penna if he really wants it. Anivia picking up the kill onto Ezreal, blowing him up. Will Sanctified still be able to survive this? Anivia does have the mana. Frostbite comes in. There is all the stun will land, and this should be a kill. Ace for Anivia. That was a crazy team fight.
I am 100% impressed right now. I was pretty sure that that Ezreal was going to be able to pull that. The WizFujin was going to be able to pull off that Penta with him being that low, being at full health. He had everything he needed, but Anivia once again just deciding to say no and putting her foot down, her winged foot down, and deciding that that was not an acceptable solution. That was a very interesting team fight, and with that Sona ult down, that Sona ult getting blown, trying to pin down the cat, I think that would have been a completely different fight if that's still been there.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like that is like whenever you hear that shutdown in League of Legends, like that was the actual shutdown, because like right there, I was looking at that, I was like, WizFujin can clean up this whole thing. He's got this, and if it was just like combo, nope, you're dead.
Yep. And everybody's so low in that, and I'm really and there it is, the thing that I've been waiting for all game and kind of dreading. Nidalee coming back with her GA and just deciding that there is no way, shape, or form that she wants to ever die again.
Oh, Sanctified. I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of this one.
Oh, there's the trap coming down on him, and nom.
And I think red team right now, they're really feeling it after that last team fight, taking that turret. And, after they've bought up now, they really have, they've converted that gold lead into an effective gold lead. They actually have the items backing them up now. And they might try to go for a Baron. Be interested to see what they decide to do here. And there's going to be an initiate onto Wizard. Wizard again can't get out of this arrow. Trying to predict him to get away, but he won't get away. He's still stuck in there, and he's actually going to be blown up by Anivia. And this Anivia play, so far of this game, Anivia has to be the MVP so far. 8-0-4, and her play and ability to catch out Ezreal there has been clutch.
Yep. Anytime that anything's needed to happen, it's because we have the big winged mom coming down from the sky. I was expecting very similar play from ImBlackYall. We saw some of it early on where he would roll bottom and just say no and start shutting things down, and he was really smart about playing, but he's... Oh, and there's that missed hook, but still, I don't think he's going to be able to get away from the cat. And there's the ult holding him underneath the towers, getting a couple of hits in, but...
I think Sanctified just likes to prove us wrong. I think that's his deal.
I completely agree, but as much as he loves playing with our casting, Nidalee just is at the point of not caring. Taking both turrets and just throwing spears for a minute, and here comes that Ezreal ult to do a little bit of damage, touches some people a little bit, but nothing enough to really, raise an eyebrow to. And now, if they can go back, getting that inhibitor down, they can, both lanes being pushed kind of well, they're going to go clear bottom, and then who knows, they might swing up for that Baron and just decide to end this.
Yeah, I think at this point, probably with their team comp, I'd say that, just pushing a lane, taking down towers, probably going to be their best bet. If I were them, I would actually stay the heck away from Baron unless you're 100% sure. Because with AoE team comps, if you get in on that Baron does a lot of damage. Actually, I don't know if you've been following this bug on Baron recently where he's doing ridiculous amounts of damage. But
yes,
he actually does a ton of damage now. So if you try to if you try to go in there even with your lead and they get the perfect AoE ults down, you could be setting yourself up for a turnaround or a really long game. So I would say if I was red team, I was like keep it warded, but then just push those lanes, use your poke comp, use your clearing power, and just go in and do what you do best.
Nidalee just deciding that she wants to get more paid. I don't even know at this point what she would want to buy except for more kills,
more elixirs.
More quad pot and face rape, which is a new potion, by the way, by Doran's.
Yeah, so it looks like Red's going to pick up another dragon here. They're ahead. They just want to get even more ahead.
Having hung out with CLG a little bit, and I really talked to him because I've been watching their games for a while before we did the I Just Played Jax video, and they're just complete hatred for fighting over Baron. They'll take it when they can, but Hotshot truly hates fighting over Dragon. Like, that is his least favorite thing in the world and refuses to do it at all costs. And this game, though, I really think that that's really going to come back to really get Blue Team. Their lack of ability to pressure them away is just allowing this lead to kind of cascade against them.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Hotshot a little bit because I feel like a lot of people approach fights over Dragon, like they approach it the wrong way. We see lots of pincer moves from the blue side, and all sorts of trouble.
And here's Nidalee finally getting held down,
getting in there.
Will she walk away like Nidalee does? Yes. But here's the rest of Purple Team.
I'm sorry, Blue, but the chances are you're not going to get your blue buff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Hate to inform you about that, but it looks like...
Oh, wow. BlackYall getting caught out there. Arrow coming in. Black Shield protecting a lot of it, but Ezreal making the quintessential newbie mistake for all Ezreals, using his Essence Flux to get in there. Sometimes with those Smart Cast keys, you can do it accidentally, but that is the cardinal rule is never use your Essence Flux to engage
Nidalee's not caring. She's standing under turret. She has decided that they're all dying. She has decided no matter what, they are all dying, and come hell or high water, she's making it so.
The question is, she just said, no, I need the CS. I got to take these turret hits. I don't care. I'm Nidalee.
Guys, don't worry about the turrets. The CS is more important. I'm looking bad over here with my 322.
Wow, very impressive game by the red team. Blue, putting up a good effort. But in the end, red, that Nidalee doing work. And No Name, honestly, he had some very, very clutch plays that were at key points where the game could have went either